Hi everybody, welcome back, and hello if you're new here, you're more than welcome. My name's Heather and this is Willy Willy Sheep Sheep. It is a channel all about cross stitch, one way or the other. As I say, if you're more than welcome here, and if you're returning, thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed, if you could please maybe click that button. Fair enough if you want to watch the video before you decide to subscribe, but just it really helps, and we like as well, but that's all the YouTubey stuff that I need to say. This week, well, it's past 2 weeks, I haven't actually been stitching on too much. Little weather update. It hasn't been great this past week. A lot of heavy rain. I did get the front grass cut yesterday. I didn't get the back grass cut, so it's still like a field. And today you might notice it's bright now. Give it 5 minutes, I can see dark clouds coming, so it's sort of just been that. It's been nice and bright, and then the next thing, dark clouds, and it's absolutely teaming it down. So if the light changes, that's why. But no, other than that, this past couple of weeks I've only been actually stitching on a couple of things. So not last week, but the week before's video. After that I was stitched on one thing. It was actually a new start. Stitched in it for about a week, and then last weekend or so changed over and have been stitching on my other piece. I actually have one page completely finished of it, but you'll see it whenever we come to it. I have a little bit of haul, not that much. I have shop updates. In case you didn't know, I have an online cross stitch shop. At the moment I only post within the UK, but I do have an Etsy shop as well, and I post worldwide on it. So I think that's it. I think we can start. I'm just thinking, have I anything else, because I always forget something. No, but if it comes to me, I'll add it in at some stage. Right, so the first thing I was working on after my last normal Flosstube was Sweet Summertime by Counting Puddles. So it's beautiful. It is just summertime in a picture and counting puddles, so you know it's going to be absolutely beautiful. So as I say, this was a new start for me since the last video. And that's how far I've got with that. Oh, trying to show you that. So we have a good portion of the jug, of the liquid within the jug done, and then the watermelon rind, and I think, yeah, there's an orange then to go here, and it'll go on that way. But that is how far I've got so far. So I'm just working off paper pattern on this one. Oh, that's awful the way I'm showing that. Sorry, thought it was better than that. So that's that. I am using 18 count Ada and the call for DMCs. Maybe it is only DMC, is it? Yeah, it is only a DMC. So that is that one. In that previous Flosstube, I was talking about, it was actually the Barbara Anna that I have in the scroll frame, and I was finding it hard till finish my thread and to start a new thread and stuff, and as I say, trying to get it flipped over in the scroll frame in the Larry stand just wasn't working for me. So somebody told me, and it was Sean in AZ, so I'm taking it Sean in Arizona. She said to me to check out Jordan from the Tattooed Stitcher, she had a tutorial on pin stitching, so I did that. I follow Jordan anyway and watch her, so that was great. Followed her pin stitch tutorial, and it's brilliant. It is. So I'll actually, if I can, I'll pin it below, because it just means there is no flicking back and forward. And I did try it in this one, and I'm pretty happy. There's one place I can see it. I don't know if you can. I'm not going to point it out, but it just seemed to be that the stitches were starting and stopping within a very, one line, and then the next line up it was finishing, and then the next line up it was finishing again. And I can see it, as I say, I don't know if you can or not, but I have tried it in other places where this finishing isn't so much in line, and it's fine. It's fine. I think it's just because it was always in the same space or the same place that I was, only maybe a line up, and that's what makes me, that I can see it. Maybe yins can't. I don't know. But I was happy with it anyway. Might be a matter of pulling those stitches out and redoing that wee bit. I don't know. It's actually, the stitches look a different colour. I don't know. I keep saying that. I'll take a shot for every time I say I don't know. We'll be well away with it by the end of it. So anyway, that was that one. I wanted to say thank you to Sean in AZ, because that was brilliant, and I like any wee tips like that help. And as I say, I'll try and pin it below. So that was Sweet Summertime by Counting Puddles. The next one I have is one of my full coverage, and it is by Boomerang Stitches. I love this one. And if you've been following me on Instagram this week, I've posted a bit of it, so you'll sort of see how much I got done this week on it. So it is actually, I haven't even said what it's called. It's the Shitz Creek sampler. I have asked you thrice now. I love Shitz Creek. It was brilliant, and this is how far I've gotten it. So I have one page finished, and it's amazing. It's amazing. So love that one. I'm not actually sure. I told you a lie. That was 16, or that is 18. I wonder then that 20. I thought that was. I'm gonna have to. I have it somewhere. I do have it somewhere. That is definitely smaller than that. I'm nearly sure that was 18 count, so this maybe is on 20 count. I'm gonna go with this as 20 count. Now the more I talk about it, the more I think it is. I'm right. So that was that one. Absolutely love this one. It is on 20 count. Now that I think about it, it's on 20 count, and it's DMC. I'm using just the call for colours, but Amity, I love all her stuff. There might be a little bit of a pattern bought from her as well. I know this might be too late if you haven't already purchased, but I'm nearly sure she said, which is fair enough, she is putting her prices up of her PDFs to be in line with her paper patterns, because they're becoming more available through, LNSs, ONSs, the paper patterns, and she's just having to rejig her prices to be more in line. Completely fair enough, and her patterns are gorgeous anyway, so like another, I don't know what she's putting them up to at the minute. I'm actually filming this on the 31st. This is Saturday. It'll be going out tomorrow on the 1st, and I'm nearly sure she said it was the 1st of June that she was putting her prices up. But you can check her out anyway. They can't be going up that much. In all reality, it's a pattern. The amount of time that's put into doing the pattern, editing it, all that, the amount that's asked for, some of them, you know, you sort of go, you can't be angry with them asking for a wee bit more money. Like, it takes time, and it's an art. It's an art. But so check out Boomerang Stitches Etsy to see, but I'm nearly sure she said the prices were changing on the 1st of June. But if they haven't, grab yourself a bargain. Definitely grab yourself a bargain. But I love this one. Honestly, if I could probably sit on this and just keep doing it, I would. But I like to sort of change up so I don't get bore myself. But I do find this one hard to get bored with, because you've a nice block of colour, then you change, you have another wee block of colour, you change. So you're hardly, you know, it's hard to get bored with the colour. But I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. So that is all I've been stitching this week, or this past 2 weeks, as I say. I'm not sure what I'm going to be working on in the weeks to come. I haven't really even thought of that. I had a finish a few weeks ago of the Sip Sip Hooray. I have it almost fully finished. If I probably had waited to tomorrow to film this, I might have had a full finish, but the glue didn't dry as fast as what I thought, so I can't show you it today, but it'll be in the next one. So I will have an FFO. I will have a fully finished object. I did see somebody else, I can't remember what that was in, but they had another meaning for FFO, and it was quite funny. I'm not going to say it. I normally can speak like a sailor most of the time, but I'm going to refrain. But it was very funny, so it was. And I cannot remember who that was. It was somebody who had made a hoop for a finish, and it was the backing board in the hoop. Who was that? I cannot remember, but it was funny. Very good. So what I'll show you, I actually made a grime guard today, which I'm kind of rather proud of. It's nothing fancy or anything. This is for an 8-inch hoop. So get round. I didn't take down, where is my phone's over there. I want to say it was the Dainty Sewer or the Dainty Stitcher. On YouTube, it was her tutorial I used. I'm nearly sure that was the name of the channel. It was her tutorial, and it was really straightforward. It actually, there was bits of it, because it was so straightforward, I sort of went, yeah, I know what I'm doing. Watched it once and was like, yeah, that's got that, definitely. Started to do it, went and done bits and bobs, and then come back and realised I'd done wee bits and bobs wrong. But in the whole scheme of things, it still worked out fine. And that's it there. As I say, it's nothing fancy or anything to look like. It was made for an 8-inch hoop, so I'll see if it works. So we'll see how that goes. That was that. Okay, next is a little bit of haul, and I got 3 patterns. 2 of them, no, did I show? One of them is definitely from last week's. One of them's definitely from last week's. I'm not sure if this one, I don't think I showed it, and the last one's definitely not. So 3. So I got, I don't have any wee pictures, and these are only from my own printer, and I've only black and white printer at home. So these were from Cross Stitch by Coconut, and this was the gift tags that I spoke about last week and showed them. I maybe actually, I do, no, I don't think I actually have the picture of those anymore, but that was them. And as I said in last week's video, you can more do them individually. I actually think she has, I think within your PDFs that you have to download from Etsy, she has one that shows you how to make the gift tags. As far as I know, I didn't print that off, or I'm not doing that. But as I said, I'm going to do them the 4 in a row and do it that way. But it's good clear charts and all. And I like my charts in black and white. I don't know, let me know what you think, because I've seen so many charts that are done in colour, and I find it quite hard to, I don't know whether it's just my eyes, what, I don't know, but I find it hard. Even when I'm using a paper pattern and I'm just highlighting it off, I still find it so hard to see what I'm doing when it's a coloured pattern, where when it's black and white, it's just the symbols you're looking for, and I find it so easy to follow a black and white pattern. But as I say, there is some that I'm working on at the minute and they're coloured, and it just confuses me sometimes. I don't know, just let me know what you think in the comments. It's even a Pattern Keeper, I had a change, I think it was coloured, I can't remember what way I was doing it on it. I think it was coloured, or else it was whenever I highlighted it turned it into the colour of what the pattern would look like, and it completely threw me. So I have that sorted out on Pattern Keeper. Still haven't updated Pattern Keeper because I'm afraid of losing everything, but that's a whole other story. So that was the gift tags, the Christmas tree gift tags of that. I did have others in my basket that I had last week, but then other things come up as well. They're still in the basket, don't get me wrong, but that was one that I seen. Another one by her, whenever I was going through her shop, I seen this as well, but I suppose, well, no, it's 12 Days of Christmas. I was going to say you could do these individually, but they wouldn't really make as much sense as having the whole thing done together. So to say black and white, so it's not the greatest of pictures. If I can get one, I'll try and put it in, but I'm not sure. So 12 Days of Christmas, and it has everybody there, from Partridge in a Pear Tree, 5 rings, 5 gold rings, and then 12 Days of Christmas along the bottom. So I thought that one was really nice. I liked it. She actually had that done on a darker fabric, or well, it wasn't on a darker fabric, but on the mock-up of it, it was like a real beige isn't the right, because it would nearly be too light. If you think of a really dark beige, that's sort of the colour, and it was very good looking. It was very good. I think it's maybe because of the white of the birds and stuff. Made it stand out that bit more then. So I might see if I can get, actually the fabric, is it Vintage Country Mocha though? I was thinking the fabric I was doing the Fancy Lady on, the Nora Corbett or Mirabilia, I can't mind which one she is, would maybe be quite good for that actually. I'm gonna have to have a wee look, but 12 Days of Christmas, like that one. And the last one is from Boomerang Stitches, and it is Bubble Birds. This is not going to do this any justice whatsoever. Again, if I can get a coloured picture, I will put it up here. I don't know if I will be able to, but we'll see. Yeah, should be able to. You'll know now if I have or not. But Bubble Birds. So absolutely love it. and within the pattern you get all the numbers, so you can fill it out. It doesn't have to be 2024, you can do whatever. Again, Amity gives you, when you go to download, you get the option of downloading a black and white, a colour, whatever, so you can pick, and I like that. I like having the option, because sometimes I do actually print out the coloured one, you know, I was going to say just to have, but I don't know, just to even see it. But I always, if there's a black and white pattern, it's it I always use to mark off as I'm stitching, because I just like my black and white patterns. So that is all the haul. The only thing I have left is a little shop update. I've got new stuff in this week. Some of it is up on the shop, some of it's not. So I'll just show you a few things with what has come in. Okay, so shop update. As I say, there's a few things up already. Just trying to think. Yeah, so we got hoops in. I got hoops in. These are millward ones. Just plain wooden hoops, but they are nice. They have, there's ones I had before were trimmets, and they were quite squared edge on them. So sometimes they had a bit of a sharp edge. These are nice and rounded. So they are, let you see, they're nice and rounded. So your fabric will not get kinked or anything that way, or pulled or whatever. Sometimes the sharp edge can just be a wee bit too much on them, so they can. So we have millward hoops, sizes 7 to 10 inches. So that's those. I also, with doing the finishing, I wanted to try this glue. I actually have, let's see if I can get it out here. It's high tack and it's fabric glue. So I wanted to get it in and try it, as because I was doing the finishing of that Zip Zip Hooray, to see what it was like. I have to admit, I'd never used this before, so I didn't know there was other fabric glues available, but I just thought I'll try this one because I have the Flosstube already in the shop. So you dot it round, or you put it round the edge of your linen, your Ada. It dries clear, it's also flexible, and it stops your fabric from fraying. So that's Flosstube. That's already in the shop. So this one, as I say, wanted to try it on the Zip Zip Hooray. And I have to admit, I'm pleasantly surprised with it. The only thing, I did think it would have dried a little bit quicker. It actually doesn't say how long it takes to dry, or else I have completely overlooked it. But it's a super strong formula, and it just says dries up to 5 times faster than our original formula, and it's washable after 24 hours. But I have left it there now a good, where are we at? 2 hours, a good 2 hours, and yeah, that's definitely, I would say it's definitely on the stuck side now. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Again, in the shop. I'll just put these back again. We have those, and I got in because I use bobbins for my threads. I had a box, but there was no segments within the box. There was nothing to keep the bobbins in their place. It was only because I had a full row and sort of kept itself, but if you lifted the box and done that, everything was going to fall. So I got these in, and I got them in the 3 sizes. So you have small, medium, oh sorry, and then we have the large ones as well. so then the large as well. You get free paper bobbins in them. Each one of them has 25 bobbins in the small and the medium, and I think it's 100 in the large. Yeah, 100 in the large you get. I'm going to be honest, the paper bobbins I don't think I'll use. I got one of the boxes for myself because, as I say, the other box, although I held them, it wasn't, they were going everywhere once I lifted them, or it was just sitting on the floor at my computer. I'd have kicked it and they would have been everywhere. So, and as I say, that's the wee cardboard bobbins that you get with them, but that's actually, they're thinner than that actually. So I don't know, but they're there. So as I said, I got one, and it was more out of curiosity than anything, and as I say, I needed something else, but I put mine in it, so there's no moving them anywhere. Little hinged door. This, I have put bobbins in this row, but they seem to have it where you could maybe put scissors, other bits and bobs in there if you're using on a project, and that's it. They do have to sit, the bobbins do have to sit on their side. You can't have them standing up. That's one thing, because I did, but the lid wouldn't close tight. This size would be very good for if you're not going to use this for scissors. I think I counted up, I can fit 5 to 6 in each wee section. And if I used all the smaller sections, I think, and I was fitting 6 in it, I think it was 96 you were able to get in. So you're able to get more with that in. If you're doing full coverage, heads, stitches so beautiful, that sort of thing, they could be really good for. They could be great for any, if you have a smaller project. I think it's 20, I think they hold 25. I should have wrote that down, shouldn't I have? I can't remember what size the medium holds, but as far as I know, they have that as 100, although I think you could probably squeeze more in, and I think they had 25 for that, but you probably could squeeze more into that as well. So we have those, which I'm really pleased with that. I'm glad I did get that. Okay, lastly I have in these, the LBC I think, scroll frames. I should have these in all the sizes. I'm gonna say there might be one size I don't have, but I have a good range of the sizes now. They are no-sew scroll frames. You just put your fabric around, clip it and give it a wee turn, and that's it in. And I use this myself, and I do have to admit they're brilliant. You see, having to sit and sew onto the fabric and all, no, and it means that you can switch between projects. If you like a scroll frame, you can switch between projects really easily on it. So I have those, and that is everything. That is everything I think this week. I have the shop updates, my haul, and what I've stitched on. As I say, I don't know what I'm going to stitch on what I'm going to stitch on the next couple of weeks, but I'll have a wee route through my boxes and bags and stuff over here and see what there is. And I keep a wee eye on Instagram, because I'll be showing there what I'm stitching on, and you can keep up to date there. But other than that, I think that is everything for this week. I hope you have a brilliant week ahead. I hope you have loads of stitchy time and get loads of stitches in, and I hope you have a good time. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.